took this trade this morning in D period. I got 168s to average. I think I got one in at 167. I got one in around the overnight high there. You can see I was pointing out that they had that low volume node. I'm using that as my resistance, and that 72 is about my breaking point. Just watching it to see if how much interest we're going to get on moving it higher. I'm looking for a rotation back to the POC, if not lower, down there by 160, 156, that area. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and hit that like button, and subscribe if you want to see future videos of how I trade market profile and volume profile. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Start looking for targets. I know I want to front run that POC, and that's about my 27 ticks. There is that first target. I'm looking at this bottom part of this, just above that low volume node. That'd give me my 40 ticks. You can see that low volume node there in the volume profile. You can see how there's a double distribution from this morning. So I'm looking at those. And I'm looking at this as a possible extended target. That's the low from Thursday. And then you have the overnight low. There's the orange line. And then all the way down at the POC from Friday would be my ultimate goal. Starting to test that low volume node there. I think the people that were buying in D period and possibly C period there, that was their target, was that overnight high. That's why I was comfortable getting in this. Obviously, at this point, I could have gotten a lot better entry, but how did I know that it was going to go this far into this low volume node? I want to watch the open. That's the first thing I'm looking at is, do we get back through that area? And then you have your POC, and we want to get back into this big node here that I'm marking off right now. Trying to get back through half back. And again, I'm focused on this open. Are we going to, get through that? If they buy it right there, then I want to close this trade. There's a good chance they want to take it higher. Even here at half back, if they were to buy that, I'd want to be out of it. So like I said, that first target, I'm front running the POC to be your That second target, I'm front running that low volume node at the bottom of the big node there. When I first started this trade, I was thinking we might end up breaking lower, but as I get further into it, it doesn't look like that. You'll see as it starts coming down, it doesn't have the momentum that makes me think it's going to break lower. I ended up taking the next trade in the E period that was very similar, and it was having a hard time getting through there too. I ended up closing that one at the 27 ticks, or around the 27 ticks. I didn't even look for the full extension all the way because it was having a hard time, just like this one does. They were back to the open. So I'm watching this really close to see, we had the VWAP there, and you have the open there, and you're kind of at the top of that node. So if we get rejected out of that big node, they buy that open. That's why I bring down and protect it, because I want to be out of it if we get any reaction at this point. See, it's kind of sticking to that open. Adjust my second target down to the 40 ticks. I'm pointing out here how it's sticking to that open a little bit. And at this point, this is where I'm starting to feel like it's having a hard time, because I feel like it's broken this far. If they were really selling this, it would flush through there. It's not. So I start, you know, um, changing my opinion that we're going to make that full rotation. I start making adjustments because I want to, give the trade as much chance as I can. And if I do succeed, I want to get as much out of it as I can. I try not to close my trades early. But, I'm looking for at least that 25, 27 ticks on the first target. But it's having such a hard time. You can see it's already bouncing back up towards the open. So like I said, it can't even get back to the POC. What I'm thinking here. And there I go ahead and adjust the targets back to where they were in the first place. Basically, I decided that I was going to let it, try to get to the target, which was only a few ticks difference, but I would use my stops to protect it instead. Like I said, I don't like short, cutting my trade short. At this point, if it gets close, I decided I'm going to take those first two. This is also where it comes into play that these aren't hard targets, so you don't want to cut your trade short, but you're just putting a mark on the chart. They don't care where your order's at. At this point, I'm determined to take this if I even get close to that target. Right there, I take the first set. I'm trying to figure out how much I'm willing to give up. I want to be at the top of that node. Adjust my stop down. Feel that if we're going to make it, we really shouldn't revisit that area at this point. There, I'm really thinking about the fact that we can't seem to get back to that POC. I take off my brackets so I can take a third contract in this area if I want to. I start looking at this, and if E period were to open and not break that D period low, it could be the start of some single time framing. So I just have that, in the back of my mind. I don't think that's what we're doing right now, but that's just kind of what I'm thinking about, especially coming directly off that POC. And we're having such a hard time. So all of those things added up is making me think. So you see, and I take one more contract at that 27 ticks. I'm down to one. Bring the last one up because I've pretty much given up thinking that we're going to break lower. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see future videos of how I trade market profile and volume profile. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. And there we have a nice push down. Comes right to my 40 ticks right there and took it out. It does end up moving lower, but I'm not worried about that. And it actually doesn't end up breaking that low volume node. So that was a good read. But overall, I thought that was a pretty good trade. And, like I said, I noticed that it wasn't making progress. So that's something to look for when you're in your trades, when you're monitoring for progress or monitoring for continuation. I think I got two, which would have been probably about 24 ticks. And then I got one at the 27 ticks. And I got one at the 40 ticks.